Hello, and we're doing Mardini day 28, which is crowd. And I went ahead and started messing with some different things. This is just a test. I am not using this because we can't use Mixamo. So this is a Mixamo model, and it has like a walk cycle. I'm just testing out some different things. I don't think I'm going to use this setup just because I don't have an animation to work with. But I kind of just wanted to show the crowd simulation stuff because it's actually pretty simple to set up. And we have the agent, which is being loaded from an FBX model. And then we are adding a clip name to it. Then in the agent clip, we are selecting the different clips. We can add more mocap files in here. Hey, how's it going? Sadek or Sadeh? Sades Barak? Sadek Barak? Sades Barak. How's it going? How's the weekend so far? So right now we have this little kind of setup. I'm not going to use this setup, but I just kind of wanted to break it down because I thought it was interesting. I might later on in the future work on something, around the lines of the crowd simulation stuff. So it's like an agent. We're uploading that model from Mixamo. And then the clips are basically all the animation parts. And you can upload different ones here. The locomotion is usually when the models are animated. It's like a short period of time. So we're picking a joint to continue to add on to the animation. And when we add the locomotion, right now it's using the run cycle. It just keeps going. So instead of looping in that place and going back and forth, it keeps going when you choose the hips as the joint to continue on with. And then the crowd source is kind of like a scatter, like a scatter node, but it actually kind of brings everything in. Right now we have a lot. Let me lower it to like 120. And then the scatter, you can see that there's like different clips. Some of them are running and some of them are walking. And the problem with this one is that it can't recognize the different types of clips and how the locomotion is supposed to be set up. So they're all moving at the same time. So even the people, walking, they're kind of sliding with the speed of the runners. So that's when you're supposed to do like a dop net. And then there you could do your crowd object. And then these two are the states. Crowd states are the actual clips of animation. And you put the crowd source on the second one, crowd object on the first one, and then any animation states would go on the third with a merge. And then when you actually set it up correctly here, instead of the walker sliding, like it'll actually they'll be walking at the correct pace, and then the runners would be at their own pace. So I thought it was pretty cool. There's not enough time to do like this kind of setup with a custom like Houdini model. I used the Mixamo, but I'm not gonna use this for the submission for Mardini. But I wanted to show it to you guys because I thought it was really, really cool, and you can pick, different angles that make sense for your animation, and I don't know, it's kind of fun. So the setup that I started working on was a little bit different than this one. Oh, and from the top, let me show you another thing. So let me get a view here. There's something up with the running here. Hold on a second. There it is. Like, they actually avoid each other pretty well. So when I play, you'll see how they're all trying to avoid each other. Like, they don't penetrate. So that's really cool. And you could probably change these into like bugs or animals or whatever you want to be your crowd. But yeah, this is super powerful. And yeah, I need to learn a little bit more about it. All right, so the other setup was just these kind of test objects or test characters that come with labs, and just kind of piping this into the bone deformer and a rig pose for posing the characters. So this one's kind of like that. Then I'm adding a variant for each one, an attribute create. So here's a different one. Here's another one. And here's another one. Then all of those are merged in. And then here we're doing a grid, and we're scattering points on the grid. That's going to be our different copies. And then in here, this is kind of the script that if you want to take a screenshot or take a look, this is the one that you choose the maximum amount of variants you have, and then it randomizes them based off that. All right, and then we're just adding an attribute randomize for P scale, and we're bringing everything in here to the copy to points. And then now we got this little crowd going on. So I kind of wanted to do something like maybe it's like a club scene or something. And let me save it for now. And then if we go back, wait for it to load. Then I put this array light that I've made. It's a HDI I made. It's part of the tools that I also have on Gumroad. And here's just a grid with a material on the grid that's kind of just dark right now, just to mess around. And then I have a camera here. All right, something's loading. I'm not sure what that is. Let me wait a little bit. Okay, it's good. Or not. Yeah, something was taking long. Just doing a test render, see what it looks like. Maybe there's too many copies. Let's lower the count. Yeah, probably with the stream and all this is kind of chugging a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I think we have a little too much. I'm gonna put it to manual here at the bottom, so nothing loads up, and then we can have like 700 something. All right, let's do like 300. And I might need to, okay, let's reload this. And let's make this smaller, 15. Okay, let's try that. Okay, yeah, now it's rendering. It could be also the view is kind of big here, so I'll just add this panel here at the bottom so it doesn't have to render that giant area. So yeah, this is pretty much what I got so far. I might add a fog box to add some kind of atmosphere. Oops. Karma fog box. All right, let's try that. And this has to be big enough, so we'll do 18 by 20. It's gonna need more than that. By 5? No. 15. Let's do 25 by 25. Let's kind of turn this off so we don't see this here. And we can move our light setup here. Let's move it a little higher. There's the camera that I put. It's kind of like a more compressed camera lens. It's like, I think 120, 150. And let's add maybe another light. It's kind of hard to see. Let me try with Karma XPU and hopefully we don't get a crash. Hopefully it renders a little quicker so we can start seeing the preview. And maybe we could add more models, more poses, so it's a little bit more random. I think I'm gonna add also depth of field so you know they're not all so clear. What about if it's from the back? It's probably better from the back, maybe. Let's work on the Karma fog and let's remove some of the density and shadow density. It's kind of hard to tell with the shadow density. You know, maybe something like that. Let's add another camera and let's try a wide angle. All right, let's add some more poses. So I'm gonna turn off the render and let's go back in here into the crowd setup and we'll let's grab another model. I think that's all we got to play with that are already rigged. Let's try the Craig, but we can just do a Craig. Maybe he's the DJ or something. Let's not add a variant. We'll just merge it in as a main character here. So he is right there. I'm wondering why it's giving me this black color. By itself it shows up. Let me see. Do I need to do like a attribute delete? Which is the one with material. Let's remove this and remove the hammer. Maybe he's in the rest pose. Okay. What we can probably do is, just so we don't get this issue, is put them separately. So it's kind of like around this area here on 5 units. And you know what? We could probably move them in the outside. So let's just put a null. Or let's remove all this. I'm just gonna copy it and go into another SOP create here. Oh, I got a crash. We're gonna have to start Houdini again. I think we saved. So let's make sure. All right, so here's another session of Houdini. And let's open it again. Okay. We were doing a SOP create. Let's load the materials. There it is. And we can use the transforms here to make him bigger. And let me turn. I'm gonna actually disconnect the crowd we have set up for now, just so things can load much quicker. And let's also remove this array. Okay. And let's get the hammer out and let's do a rest pose. Okay. Now we can move this guy. We said, I think it was 15. Is that the edge here? I thought it was 5, but it was being cropped out. So yeah, I think this is right. And we'll do an area light on this guy from the top. Just to give him some more importance here. All right, we could play around more with it later. Let's save this. And let's link the crowd again. And let's link the arrays of lights. We might need to move them back a little bit more. And let's double check our amount of scatter here. Let's reduce it one more time. So 150, half the amount that we have now. And update. Okay, so let's reduce the width. Okay. Okay, and let's add the wide. Looks like there's too much fog. Let's turn it off for now. And yeah, we don't have enough lighting on him either. We add a dome light. We definitely don't want it to look like that. So, I feel like for AI, I think any job that's super repetitive and simple will be automated. Or if you're junior, you'll learn how to use those tools to be able to kind of speed the process of certain things. But in terms of procedural software right now, I haven't found any AI that can have the amount of control that you have with like a 3D software. I think most people that don't really care about like having granular kind of control over everything might want to do something with AI, but then if you want a lot of control and you want to output, the best quality and resolution, and you want everything to be consistent, I think 3D is still good. I mean, I'm still using it. Am I making zombies? No. Well, it's supposed to be like a crowd. Maybe it's a club. Right now the light doesn't help because it's kind of just lit up this way. But if I turn it off, this is kind of like more club lighting. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. And then if we add the fog, it kind of looks more like a club scene, but we can't see our guy here. So we will have to lower it even more. Now we kind of see him. I think we were before it crashed, we were in the works of adding other poses, so we can work on that too. Let's get this guy here because we don't really have we have mainly this test geometry Lewis. We can duplicate this setup here. And we'll change our variant. We already have variant 3, so we'll do variant 4 here. Link it in here. And right now, this guy's just doing this here. But we'll change his pose. We'll add a rig pose, a new one. And then now we can pose the guy. Our Lewis character here. I wonder if we twist them a little bit. I don't know, something like that, maybe. And then we'll add another max to 4. And now if we take a look, we'll have our new pose in there. I think also with AI, it's not like a random computer doing everything. I think there needs to be a human person behind it prompting things. So if you can start learning different things about AI and how it works, use maybe different free programs you can get your hands on. And yeah, there's Houdini and any procedural software, there's still kind of like a learning curve that you need to I guess start. The best thing to do is to start learning it. There's also, Blender. Blender's free. It has some procedural aspects of it, but it's not nearly as evolved as Houdini. Maybe we add a light in the front of the Craig object here, or character, so we could see more of him. So I can grab the same light that I used for the top. And let's move this here. Let's rotate it and bring it down. And let me get out of here for a second. It also change the color of it so it looks a little bit better. Gives us more definition. Okay, let's take a look at the full setup. Let me try with Karma XPU. Okay, it's a little bit faster. Like, if you want to get good characters, I would say, like, to bring into Houdini or any 3D application, you can use Character Studio. That one's actually pretty good, and you could rig them, and there's a bunch of mocap things you can do with it. Mixamo is good too if you want to bring in a character and then rig it with all their motion capture that they have, and it's free. I could tell that this guy doesn't have his materials, so we'll update here. And now he's back. So let's see. Hopefully I'm not covering all of this. Okay, I think this is okay. So yeah, I'm trying to still figure out what is the angle that's gonna look the best. We can probably lift up our main color lights like further up. And then our ground, I kind of want to make it, let's get a material from Grayscale Gorilla stuff we've used. It's just the quickest way to, right now, to build our material. And I think we can just get like a concrete. So we'll do like a concrete, maybe like this. I already have it downloaded, looks like. All right, let's take a look at that. Still looks very shiny. I think our floor may need to be bigger just so it doesn't crop here like that. So let's make the grid much bigger. I feel like it's okay. We need to add like some space, some like environment that this all lives in. So we can work on something for that. So let's see. If we get a box here, how about we do like the floor, right? And then we lift it up. This would be like the second floor. And we grab, let's delete the points from the top. So we'll do the group and then group by normals. See? Let's do a blast. Shoot, what did I do? Alright, I'm pressing a bunch of buttons, wrong buttons. Blast. Okay, it seems like there it is. So -1. And then delete non-selected, and then now we have just these points here. That's only 4. We'll add a attribute wrangle at id is equal to at pt num. We'll transform these points down, and then we'll merge them, and we'll do another add, and we'll go to group and then put attribute by attribute, and then we'll put ID, and that can be our kind of our legs or the columns to lift up the second floor. And we could do also, I think, a subdivide. If we wanted to add more points, more columns. And then we'll do a poly wire. And we'll change the vectors here so they're straight like that. So 1, 1, and 1. So now if we lift this up, you know, everything kind of moves with it, but we will want to put a match size at the bottom. And then put it to min and the other ones to none. So now this happens here. Okay, and then if we wanted to, I guess if we wanted to move it further up, we use this one here. And we can add another transform right here. And we'll reduce the scale so it's not overlapping on the edge. All right, cool. So let's see. Okay, right now it doesn't really help us to have it this way. Let me make sure we save. There's a lot of stuff loading here. But let's bring in this setup here into another stop create. Stop create. And we'll copy everything here. And then maybe we can mirror this. All right. And I'll do the mirror before the match size. And I guess at this point we can center both of these. So the 0 is in the middle, 0 origin. All right, so we need to rotate this entire thing. Let's do 180. Sorry, 90. And we need to separate them a little bit more. We'll pin this here and we'll add the distance. Something like that. And we can move this whole thing forward. And then I'm wondering if we can borrow some of this stuff here. So if we go and instead of doing, let's make sure that we have this one up here. So we're doing the bottom piece here. We can, I guess, maybe group it. And then we could put like second floor, And then we can do a blast here. For second, I think. Oh no, it would have to be after the mirror. Or after the match size. Okay, I'm trying to see if it's gonna work. Let's do instead. Yeah, instead of making this, we'll do another group here. Kind of don't want to manually select it, so maybe we do the this setup will be mirrored, so like this, and then we'll put it here, and then this one will be here, so then I could grab the bottom part with a group here. Yeah, this is not gonna work. Let's go back to what we had. We're gonna have to do a group for this, and then there's a group for this. So we're gonna have to add the second group on here, and then we'll do the blast here. Second, delete non-selected, and then the group will be by normals. I think it was like -1 on Y. Let me see something. Let's remove this here. Okay, there it is. And then I think it would be the top piece. All right, so let me show you what I wanted to do. So now we can do the scatter, like or actually we'll bring this into a null object. Out second floor. So we'll bring that in and go into here. We'll do an object merge. And it looks like we gotta rotate it beforehand. So instead of doing the rotate here, we'll do rotate on the main area here. So do transform, and then we'll do 90. So now we got people in the top. That's kind of what I wanted. All right, and then the building, we'll do an out on just this one here. And obviously we'll move this back as well. So that's where they're at. And some of them are kind of standing on the edge, so we're gonna have to scale down the area here. So, all right. Let's go back to the building. Let's copy that setup here and just bring it in there. Right? Or not? Maybe not. Did we mess it up? So if I leave this to 1, oh, I see. Yeah, our match size is what's causing the issue when we try to reference the setup. So let's see what else we can do. Maybe we do another group here and we'll call it extend group, and then here on the last part we'll do extend, so 1.2. Nah, that's not working either. Maybe just extruding the outer areas. Would it mess it up if we do it here? So let's hide everything else. I guess that helped a little bit. We can, so I just extruded, I added a group. I didn't need to use the group and just kind of extended that part here. So in that case, we don't need to make these columns smaller, so we can just turn off this one as well. And we can probably scale it if we wanted to do more like a thicker column. And then we can also subdivide. And remove the, we'll put open subdiv by linear. so it keeps the shape of it. If we look at the lines, we could see that. Or you know what, we can do a divide and use the bricker. We'll turn off here and use bricker and just use the y-axis to add more steps here. We can do a convert line, and we can do a polywire. And lower the scale. And it's kind of like those metal truss, I guess is what they're called. And we're gonna need to add normals here and maybe some bars or something up here. So we can do okay, we have a group here called extend that's doing everything. We do a blast. Delete non-selected, and I think bound's gonna do the whole thing, so that's not what we want. We can do a group. We'll get the normals on the top. Delete non-selected, and yeah, I don't want those other pieces, so we could do a delete small pieces from labs tool. Okay, and then now we can, what else do we do here? Can we just extrude the edges? Let's do the transform extruded front, and then just use y-axis, or what axis is it? Okay, so this axis here, Z. We'll bring it up. And which is, I think is the side here. Let's just do another blast. Just want to check. So it's not the side, and it's probably let's do extruded side and then delete non-selected, and then we get this. And we'll do the same thing we did here with the divide. So we have this. Let's something like that, and then convert line, and now it's kind of like that barrier. And we have a little bit of kind of bowing on the side. I guess it's okay. That's due to the extrude here. I think this part here. We could leave it at 0, or, you know, I think 0 is fine. Okay, so yeah, clearly it's like too high, or so we have to lower it, or else they look like it's little kids. Let's go back, let's pin the view. And then the amount of extrude, maybe -1. I think that's fine. Yeah. This part didn't work with changing the up vector here. Let's add some normals, or to the whole thing. No, let's do it here and here. Okay. Assign material, and we'll add the second floor area, and we just put building. Yeah, I think I'm ready kind of to set up the lights and stuff and the camera angle, and then we can render it. So now we have kind of that second floor that adds a little bit more to house it in a little bit better. Let's try a 24mm lens or 16. Let's put Karma XPU. And I think for the final render, we'll need to add more people. Oh, and this guy's still gray. We'll need to update our materials here. I think that's what it was. Let's clear them out and bring them back in. Let me see something, because I thought it was loading. Let's reset the viewport. Let's go back to 300. Or maybe 500. I think the lights here are a bit heavy. So I'm just gonna disconnect this for now. And let's disconnect the fog as well. Yeah, what happened with the materials? Kind of weird. I have to see what happened there. Okay, they have their materials here, and then when we got here, okay, it all breaks. I'm wondering why. We had it working before. Let me try another copy the points. See if something happened with that. Let's do the variant. No, that's fine. Let's disconnect the second floor stuff. Yeah, so this worked. Maybe there's some attributes coming here that are messing it up. Let's do an attribute delete, and we'll just delete everything. Right, and we'll merge that in. And let's take a look again. Yeah, so there's something wrong with this node here, with the geometry that we were importing. It had some attributes that were kind of lingering and were causing our textures to have conflict. So we'll go back up a level. I think everything's good now. Let me save the scene. Okay, cool. Now let's bring in the array lights. It's probably too many. The dome light, let's turn it off for a second. Oh, it kind of removes a lot of that. Let's add a texture to it. Let's go back to Grayscale Gorilla and go into HDRs, and we can put something that looks like night or like an interior. Let's try maybe something like this one. Okay, and then we'll go get the dome and the texture and drag that in the EXR. Okay. Let's make the brightness a little bit better, like brighter. And let's bring in the Karma fog. Yeah, point light looks nicer. For the spotlights, it's like a little bit more pointy. And we can lower the dome light to like 1 maybe. I don't know if I like this angle. Let's what was camera 1 look like? Oh, this was from from the angle of Craig here. So let's get camera 1 and then zoom out. Yeah, the problem with the HDR is that we're getting that reflection here. So in order to remove that, we can do a light linker. And we'll just remove the grid. So we'll add the grid in here. And we'll add the dome. So we'll type in here dome light 1. And remove it from there. There you go. So now we don't see like where the floor ends. Cool. So let's work on an angle here. So it's like 150. Let's do 50 millimeter, which is kind of usually the default camera. Let's try 24. Let's make another camera 3. Maybe we push everybody back as well, like for it to work in this camera. We can add some more people here in the foreground. All right, let's see. Let's go into back in here. So we can extend the, let's see something. Okay, we can do that, and, or what was it, like -25? No, -5. All right, let's check back. A little bit more. Let's actually extend it to 25. Let's do 35. Okay. So if we add like camera depth of field, so like 1.1, we can now hold, what was it, Shift F, and then hold Shift, and you can click where you want the focal plane to be. I think we gotta work on a different angle. Let's do camera 4. Let's try something else here. We could also play around with the camera shader or lens materials. Go into like lens distortion. Doesn't seem to be updating these. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. Let's see. Or does the filter have to be after? No. Okay, something, yeah, something got updated. So now it's working. Let's save and let's do Karma XPU. That's interesting. I'm just trying different ones to see if it does anything unique. We got like tint and exposure, tilt shift, bokeh. We can put different bokehs. Let's try that. The caramel fog, we can also add some noise. Not that much, but a little bit, so it kind of gives us some variation to work with. Something like that, and then we can do the I think there was like a min. Okay, so minimum, we'll bring it up. There, so like something like that. And we'll bring in also Craig's main light up. Not this one, not the blue one. Like that. just switching the spotlights a bit so it's not so bright. So the spots are kind of a little bit, you know, more hotter in some areas. Okay. I think this is good. I might tweak the angle a bit. Let's check camera 3. No, that's not gonna work. Camera 2. Nope. I think camera 4 is the best right now, and then we kind of can shift it a little bit. I forgot to lock the camera. Let's do a 1x1 as well. We're about to finish up. We'll bring this guy's light back further up. Okay, I'm just gonna tweak some lights here. Got about 20 minutes to wrap it up. Probably less, because I gotta submit it. Let's go back to camera 4 and check that. All right, let's see. Let's go back in here, bring in our light, and let's move this light into the back. Something like that. And let's go back into camera 4. All right, I think I'm gonna turn this light off, leave this one here, and render this off. Okay, so let's do the setup here, just regular Karma setup. We'll do camera 4. And we'll do 2500 by 2500, XPU 512. We'll do JL day 28 and save. And let's render. Let's check the render, see where we're at. Also need to get into Mardini here. Crowd, image, go all the way down. Whoop. Okay. Hopefully the render doesn't take too long. So we could save it real quick. We'll do also a copnet. And in here we'll add a chromatic aberration. And we'll add a ROP image output. That's really all I want to add. Maybe a contrast. We'll see. Day 28. See how much time we got. We got like 10 minutes to submit. Final. And we'll do a $os.png. And let's see, let me leave this open on another view. We'll go in here. We'll split the views. Yeah. I'll just screenshot this. All right. That's the comp view. Screenshots. Okay. Copy that. JO day 28 nodes. All right, so let's go back. Okay, so let's close this. It's still rendering. Let's do a contrast and bright. We'll lower the distortion as well. Okay, so it's done rendering. Bring it in here. Okay, so here's our final image. All right. Do brightness first. I think it's okay. What about a lens distort? Is that too much? Nah, let's leave it like that. And let's make sure we have a background, so we'll just add a blend. We'll bring in here and we'll do a constant, make the constant black. And bring it in here and we'll change it to over. And we'll switch background, foreground. Okay. Now let's save it. Perfect. So now we have our final image. All right, so I had submitted it. This is the final image. All right, let's take a look at it a little bit better, a little bigger. You know, there's, you know, in 2 hours plus, just maybe like 3 hours I spent overall. This is kind of what we're able to do, but you know, if we have more time and to spend on creating more of the environment and maybe better lighting and stuff that, you know, can look 10 times better. But this is just an exercise to be able to create something quickly, and I hope you guys enjoyed it so far. All right, so this will be all for today. Tomorrow I'll be on live again to do 25, 29, and 29 is, what is it? Let me see, the Mardini. So if we go here, side effects, wait, no, not off, right here. We are doing volumetrics or volumetric. And then we have 2 more days after that. And we're pretty much done with the series of streams after that. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Good night.